Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I don't look the best today. I pretty much woke up and my mom told me we're going shopping, so she dragged me along, and so I didn't really get ready for that. But I have a lot of stuff to do here today. I've got a new package of Korean succulents, and then I have a whole bunch of cuttings that I need to send out and package for some people. And recently I've been like selling cuttings, and I mention to whoever purchases or whatever that you should try water therapy, because I've had a lot of success with it, with rooting succulent cuttings, but just in general with like, hold on, sorry, I had a fungus gnat here, but also just in general with making plants healthier, much more hydrated, especially when I first received them from being shipped, since shipping can be just so like stressful on succulents. So I thought I would finally do a video on it so I can give them this video for reference, but just in general, because I don't think a lot of people know about water therapy, and I think it's like been like the most important thing that I've ever learned from succulents. So for starters, what is water propagation, water therapy? I call it water therapy for the most part, because I'm not necessarily propagating the plants. I mean, I do have one that's actually part of the propagation, which I'll definitely show you, but most of them, it's kind of like a therapy for them. I do it when I get new plants, not necessarily when I get plants at Home Depot, for example, or from nurseries, but when I purchase succulents online through Etsy, or when I import Korean succulents, I always take this method when I get them, because most of the time these plants have been in a box traveling and they get dehydrated, which is not that bad. It's like the best way to ship out succulents, but like for the Korean succulents, I don't want them to lose leaves, which sometimes it's just natural for them to lose leaves, but I try to avoid that. So with water therapy, it just kind of like gives the plant the water. It'll suck up as much water as it needs, and it also helps with producing roots, which I'll show you. Let me just show you, I guess it's the best way to talk about it and explain it. So honestly, this is really gross water. I don't know why it's yellow. I should probably clear it out, probably because it has soil at the bottom. But this one I've been working on for 3 weeks now, I think. I'm not actually quite sure how long it's been in water, but I purchased this one on Instagram, and oh man, it's flowering. Okay, so these I also have in water propagation. Now, these are honestly so exciting for me because, well, first off, this one right here, look at all those new roots. That's awesome. Now this one, when I first received it, this was a gift by Pastel Succulents on Etsy, and when she first gifted me this, it had no roots. It was a cutting. So it's been like a month or two since I've had this plant. So I put it in water therapy for like a week or two, and then I replanted it and actually put it in my greenhouse outside, but then I got some damage of heat, and as you guys can see, one of that leaf still is recovering, but it's been growing all these cool new roots and rehydrating since. So this one's kind of going back up and getting on its feet. This cubic frost, if I pull it out, whoa, you'll see all of those new roots. Maybe not, but this one's doing a little bit better. This one's probably ready to be planted. Sorry, I haven't checked this one in a while, so I'm inspecting it, making sure it doesn't have any bugs in it. Looks to be clear. But yeah, so that one's, this leaf accidentally just fell off my cubic frost, but luckily cubic frost propagates so well. Okay, but anyways, I'm gonna put these on the side and talk about this cactus right here. So this cactus I imported from Mexico, and it has a lot of meaning to me. My grandma purchased it for me, and it's just been kind of doing nothing for 2 years now. And I pulled it out the other day and I realized it had no roots. So I put it in this water, and look at all those new roots. Plus, look at all these new leaves that have sprouted. Isn't that so exciting? So that's kind of how it helped with cactus. I've only ever done water therapy with cactus. this time only, so I might have to do it more, although I don't really have that many cacti. So okay, so this next one that I have here, really exciting, in a mason jar. Honestly, I have such a hard time finding things to use water therapy with, so if you can just find an old cup or whatever, that works. This one I've just been trying to rehab, but this one's a new cluster I just purchased the other day. It's a beautiful cluster, and I just put it in water so it can hydrate. I don't think it's sprouted any new roots, but that's, oh yeah, it did. That's awesome. It sprouted 2 or 3, but basically, as you guys can see here, there's a few different ways to do it. You can do it where you fill up the water just a little bit, so a little bit of the stem is under the water, like here. Or you can do what I like to do, which is pretty much a good example for this one, is having the water literally covering the stem. So for this little shot glass, I have the water filled up to the rim. And so that means that the stem is getting water all the way up. So the whole stem is under the water. And honestly, I think it just depends on what type of plant you have and what pot or what, you know, cup you have to do the water propagation. This one, I don't really have, I mean, I could fill it up more, but I think I ran out of water, so I should probably just put more water. But I could honestly fill this up all the way. It doesn't matter, literally. As long as there's no leaves under the water, then you're pretty much good with the water therapy. If there is leaves under the water, those leaves will just soak up so much water that they'll end up turning a little bit translucent and end up rotting and getting really squishy. But other than that, I've had no other issues with water therapy. Pretty much get a saucer, get a plate, get a cup, a water bottle, like a Gatorade bottle. It's a good way of recycling. Get any kind of water. You can use fish tank water, you can use tap water, sink water, spring water, rice water, whatever you want, and pretty much leave the stem submerged under the water and you're good to go. Now, it's a little bit different with leaf propagation because I know some people do water propagation for their succulent leaves. I've never actually really done that one too much. I haven't really had a chance to do propagation much this year from leaves, so I might have to give it a shot and maybe do a separate video on that one. But I just wanted to, you know, touch bases on water therapy, what it is and how it works, and show you guys some of mine. And I hope it clears up some questions, and if you have any further questions that maybe I didn't go over in this video, comment them down below and I'd be happy to help. And I'll probably end up doing a little bit of a more updated video on this, as I'm kind of rushing this one. That was it. I hope you guys like it and let me know what you think. Again, subscribe for more tutorials, and yeah, happy succulent planting.